I'm Bill Croxton. I'm a senior roadway project engineer at IBI Group in Canton, Ohio, and I was the lead designer and project manager on the Hoover Trail project. So the Hoover Trail is a 4,200 feet concrete path from the Hall of Fame Bridge over 77 to Price Park. And it's actually the fourth leg of the Hoover Trail that keeps extending west. And I guess Stark Parks just got funding to continue it west. So we are just one piece of the puzzle for the county-wide trail system. Some of the things we incorporated in the Hoover Trail was the Z-gate system. There were 6 sections of retaining walls. We had a signalized crossing, so we had to add ped heads, some crosswalk markings. And toward the end at Price Park, where we had to cross the road, we had to add a RRFB, which is a fancy name for a flashing beacon, to allow crossers to push the button, cross, and go back and forth to the park.
My name is Mocarksi. I'm a project manager here in ODOT, District 4. Early on, one obstacle that we ran into was a large utility box owned by ATT. And thanks to Mass Steel, ODOT's utility coordinator, the box was moved in plenty of time before construction commenced. Another obstacle was they had to coordinate with Altman Hospital because they had to modify their drainage to accommodate Altman's parking lot.
You would think with a simple side path project, it would go pretty smooth and no obstacles, but actually it had several obstacles. There was a railroad crossing, there was a signalized intersection, and at the Hall of Fame Bridge, because of the steep slopes, we actually had to provide special benching. Typically, railroad crossings extend the project timeline, but we were able to expedite and get that easement across the railroad in a pretty good time.
There were many involved parties. Stark County had major involvement in this project and they kept a good eye on the project. Stark Park was involved and they were always very helpful. They always had feedback. The project had to realign the side path in a couple of spots due to a brick monument that belonged to the city of North Canton and to an existing retaining wall. When the issue arrived in construction, they needed a set of plans. IBI was very quick to any issue that needed resolved, and they were very open to communication.
One interesting part of the Hoover Trail was the introduction of the Z-gate system, which actually ODOT introduced to us and we implemented in the plans. And what it is, it's a series of chain link fences in the shape of a Z that basically slows down pedestrians so that they're not just going over the railroad tracks without looking left or right.
It was an honor to be the project manager in such an interesting project that accommodates bikers and pedestrians. I'm an avid walker and cyclist myself, so I was excited to play an important role in a project like this.
I think this project was a success because there were multiple parties involved and everybody communicated really well. Stark Parks did a lot of engagement with the community and got a lot of public support. It provided a cost-effective project that enhances safety and connectivity for pedestrians and trail users.